Hey, what's up everyone? Ashley here. Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies. So Space Jam: A New Legacy has arrived. It's out in theaters and it's currently available on HBO Max. The film, which stars LeBron James, is a follow-up of sorts to the 1996 Space Jam movie that starred Michael Jordan. It has a similar approach to the first film's formula, but in this update, LeBron and his son Dom get pulled into a digital world controlled by a villain named Algae Rhythm, played by Cheadle. So in order to save his son, LeBron has to win a basketball game, which leads to him teaming up with Bugs Bunny and the rest of the Toon Squad. Now, before I get into the full review of this movie, a couple of quick things. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider subscribing to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you like this review, give this video a like, hit that like button, that thumbs up button. I would appreciate that as well. Also, don't forget to jump into the comment section and share your thoughts about Space Jam: A New Legacy, Space Jam, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, all of the above. You can do so in the comment section below. All right, so on to the review. Now, Space Jam: A New Legacy will be compared to Space Jam, the first movie. There's no getting around that. And, you know, I am a huge fan of the first Space Jam movie. I've seen it hundreds of times. I watched it as a kid. It holds a very special place in my heart. Now, by no means is Space Jam a great movie, but it's a movie that I enjoy because it has that nostalgic factor. So, for the purposes of this review, I'm not going to get into whether or not Space Jam: A New Legacy is better than the original Space Jam. Okay, I'm just gonna focus on this movie on its own. And on its own, it's not really that great. It has this story that's supposed to have, you know, this really heartfelt center to it. You know, LeBron is playing a version of himself, and he is trying to connect with his son. His son is more interested in designing video games and playing video games than playing basketball. And so there's some friction there with their relationship. And then they get sucked into this digital world. And Cheadle's character, Algae Rhythm, uses that rift to kind of, you know, further divide LeBron and his son. So there are some nice little lessons in this movie, story-wise. There are some heartfelt moments that are there. I don't think they really hit the emotional beats that the filmmakers probably would have liked them to, but it is a nice little inclusion there with the story. Beyond that, though, the movie just doesn't really work for me. And I'm saying this as someone who I understand that I'm not the target demographic for this movie. It's targeted towards kids. I'm looking at it from an adult lens. But even with that aside, I don't think it's a very good movie because there are a number of problems that really stuck out to me about this film. One of them, which is to me the biggest problem with this film, is that there are so many parts of this movie that felt like a really long sizzle reel for Warner Brothers intellectual property. As LeBron James is going around, you know, he meets Bugs Bunny and they decide, okay, we have to get a team together because I have to win this basketball game. I have to save my son. So they're going around to these different places, which kind of look like different planets, within the serververse, to, you know, assemble a team to play this game. And so as they're going around, you know, they're sort of reuniting the Looney Tunes characters because they've all been sort of dispersed in the serververse. And they literally enter into different Warner Brothers movies or interact with different Warner Brothers characters. So, you know, they go into like the Matrix at one point. They go into the world of Wonder Woman. There's like a whole like superhero sequence with like Batman and Robin, like cartoon versions of that. And it just felt like a really long commercial. And it honestly felt like if this has been shown at some, like, I don't know, tech conference or something, like parts of this, you could have easily seen it have been chopped up into some kind of promo for like HBO Max, right? Like, where can you see all of these Warner Brothers movies and TV shows and characters? It's all in one place, HBO Max. And that's kind of what it felt like to me watching this movie. So many moments were just, it felt like that. Just like, let's just put in many characters, Warner Brothers characters, movies, references that we can possibly put into this 2-hour long movie. And that's what they did. So then beyond that, the acting is pretty bad. I mean, LeBron James is a basketball player. He's not an actor, and he's not a great actor. There are some moments in this movie where he does okay with the material that he's given, but he's not a strong actor. And honestly, most of the other actors in this movie aren't particularly strong either, with the exception of, the kid that plays Dom. He's actually pretty good. And Don Cheadle's good. Don Cheadle's a great actor, though. And he looks like he's having a blast chewing the scenery, playing this villain character. And he does a really good job with it. I mean, like I said, he looks like he's having fun. Again, the story isn't that strong. Yeah, it just seems like kind of a mess of a movie. The one thing I will say that probably did work for me was the visual look and feel of this movie. Like, it looks pretty cool. The style of it looks cool. The animation is cool, and I liked how they used the sort of traditional cartoon animation with the live action. I even liked how they implemented like the 3D computer animated animation with the live action, and how they kind of transitioned between those. And I liked how they kind of put in some of the video game elements in this movie, and how that was showcased, especially in the final basketball matchup. I think it worked really well there. But ultimately, it's not a great movie. It's just not a great movie. Like I said, I know that I'm not the target demographic for this movie. Kids will probably really enjoy this. They probably will, because it has some fun moments, especially with the Looney Tunes characters. But I was surprised by how much they weren't really the focus of the movie, if that makes any sense. And I almost completely forgot that like Zendaya was Lola Bunny. Because the character isn't used that much. There's so many things are forgettable about this movie. But like I said, I think kids will probably enjoy it, because there's things that kids will like in this movie. Because it does have that, heartfelt kind of story that it's going for. It has action. It has some silly moments. It is colorful. It looks really cool, but just substance-wise, it's just not there. I do wonder if Space Jam: A New Legacy will have the same sort of nostalgic appeal that Space Jam had, where, like this generation of kids, they're watching Space Jam: A New Legacy, and then, several years from now, they look back on it like, oh, that was such a great movie. I remember watching it as a kid, and like it has that nostalgia factor for them. I don't know. That remains to be seen. I'm really interested in how Space Jam: A New Legacy is going to do at the box office, because, again, it's available in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time. So I wonder if people will show up and go watch it in a movie theater and take the kids, because obviously, again, it's more geared towards families and kids. Or will, parents just stay home because they can just turn it on for their kids, or their kids can just watch it from the comfort of their home. They don't have to trek to the movie theater. So I wonder how that's going to play into the box office results for this movie. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on Space Jam: A New Legacy. Like I said, it is in theaters right now, and it's currently available on HBO Max. If you've watched the film and you want to share your thoughts about it, or even Space Jam, you can do so in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, while you're here, like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.